Hello there and welcome to this review of the past week's daily devotionals, one-way daily devotionals. I've got them down here on my laptop and looking through them I see that we kicked off the beginning of the week by discussing the importance of giving God first place in our lives. You know, we've really got to make that decision. Who is God in our lives? Is it Jesus or is it something else? Because if it's Jesus, then we need to give him first place. Because the reality is, we always give first place to what is most important to us. Which is why when we look around us, so many people give first place to their own wants, desires, because they're selfish. Because the natural condition of us as humans is to be selfish. But when we become born again, then that changes and our focus of attention no longer is ourselves but becomes Jesus. At least that's the way it should work. Now you and I know it doesn't always work like that, but the encouragement is for us to daily keep Jesus as the focus of our attention. There was something else too that cropped up, which I thought was quite interesting, and that is that we had this situation where the Pharaoh meets Joseph for the first time, tells him about his dreams, and he doesn't go into the background of Joseph. You know, how qualified are you to tell dreams? Have you got some references for me? No, he just says, well, just gives the facts. This is what I've dreamt. What does it mean? And he just sticks to those facts. He keeps it simple. Have you noticed how in the Christian world so often people will elaborate, they'll give excuses, they'll harm, they'll ha, and they don't keep it simple. But you see, you know, we're meant to keep it simple. And I think that's a good thing to learn. I think it's a very good thing to learn. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, and don't elaborate beyond what is necessary. Also, take notice of the warning. God does give us warnings through dreams, through visions, through words that people say, through reading the Bible. We pick it up and a verse strikes us, and it's the Holy Spirit prompting us, and we need to be Holy Spirit sensitive. And that was a good thing to learn during the week about being Holy Spirit sensitive. And the other thing was that we came into the situation where we see that it's necessary now for Pharaoh to work out a plan. He's got to have a plan for 7 years. If he's got 7 years good harvest, then he's got to plan something to actually overcome the 7 bad years. His plan is to actually appoint Joseph, a man filled with the wisdom of God, to actually run the country, in effect, under him. But he had to make a plan. And sometimes in life, there are times when we actually need to sit down and to make a plan. Yes, a godly plan, by referring to God, naturally, but nonetheless it needs to be done. We can't just wing it all the time. Perhaps we shouldn't wing it any of the time, but it does happen, doesn't it? And we moved on then, and we concluded with this, and that is that Joseph, with the wisdom of God, is not only able to interpret the dreams of the Pharaoh accurately, as we will see in the fullness of time, but also he comes up with a solution. And you see, God doesn't leave us without solutions. God's blessing encompasses not only warnings but also solutions for the issues that he's warning us about. And so it would be interesting to learn. You know, government spends millions of dollars, millions of pounds, millions of euros trying to find cures for global warming, depletion of the ozone layer, financial catastrophes of one sort or another, problems like third world debt, AIDS, all the rest of it. But how many of those governments actually turn to the one who has the solutions to these issues? Well, we can argue that all day long, but the important thing is for you and me. Where do we go over the issues in our life? You know, the common sense thing is take it to Jesus, which brings us right back to the beginning of the week. If Jesus is first place in our life, he will be the first port of call in everything that we need to ask. God bless you, and join with me next week as we continue the life story of Joseph.